Hello everyone, here is Nathan Donato and I'm a student of International Relations and I'm here to talk about the important matters in the international politics, mostly those that concerns Brazil. I am a Brazilian guy and I still live in Brazil. And the theme of discussion today is the nuclear weapons and in what way this subject is important to Brazil and in what way Brazil is affected and affect the world in this kind of thing. Okay? So let's jump into it. All right? There's a few things that we have to cover to understand the matter of nuclear disarmament. One of them is, of course, the treaty, the NPT, the Treaty of Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons. All right. This is important because this is the main document that prevents new countries to build, trade, or acquire new nuclear weapons. And this treaty also tries to make those countries that already have these nuclear weapons to disarm themselves. But of course, we do know that none of them will do that in any period of time, but today we will discuss why they do not do that. All right. First of all, to understand the role of the Brazil in this matter, we have to understand how the bombs are made. Okay. First thing that is needed, and it's a point that is highly discussed in the world, in the political world mostly, is the enrichment of uranium. Okay, uranium itself, in the way they are discovered in nature, it's not useful for nuclear weapon purpose. All right, you have to do a process that changes its physical aspect, and after that you can build a bomb. However, it is not only bombs that are built with this kind of enrichment. Okay, if you make the process, you do kind of 3% of enrichment on the uranium. Of course, you are trying to do this enrichment for energy purpose. Okay, many nuclear plants that provides energy for millions and millions of people, they function with uranium enriched only 3%. Above that, you have around 7 to 20% for medical reasons, used in devices that use uranium as a source of some kind of material needed to the device function, right? After that, above 20%, you are obviously making the enrichment to build a bomb. Alright? Above that, you are trying making a bomb. And nowadays, the UN, thanks to this treaty, they investigate those countries that do this kind of enrichment. And 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 it is in that part that Brazil make a big role, because Brazil not only make this enrichment of uranium, but has its own technology to do that. All right, most of the places that do this enrichment has the technology to do that came from United States, and this is the case of Iran, this is the case of Argentina, this is the case of French. All of these countries have technology to make the enrichment, and its technology came from United States. All right. However, Brazil has its own technology, and it's a good one. However, we do not produce the most amount of uranium, enriched uranium in the world. However, thanks to this amount of production we do every year, we have to report what we are doing with this uranium, of course, and doing a second look to build a bomb. Not only enriched uranium is needed to build this kind of thing. You have to have more technology, and this technology is a rocket technology. We have not only to build a bomb. This bomb have to be in the head of a missile, and for coincidence, Brazil have this kind of technology as well. We can build a nuclear bomb that can travel through many countries and achieve its goal, that is explode a lot of people. So, because of that, it was really important for Brazil to sign the Treaty of Non-Proliferation. It was important for Brazil to sign the Treaty of the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons. Okay, and many others, like in addition of the NPT, it is also a party to the Treaty for the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons in Latin America and the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, right? We are strongly committed, and we do that not because we are good people or something like that. We have to understand that Brazil, like any other country, is a player in a big board that every nation have a role and has its own piece to play. We do that because it is a smart move, because if we do not do that, probably we have to suffer sanctions or something like that will turn us even more poor and other things. But why it is important as well have this kind of weapon in your own country? And that's how the game is, and where things became more complicated, because you have United States, you have China, you have Russia, you have even French, you have Pakistan, you have India. All of these countries, they have their own nuclear arsenal, and they are not afraid to tell they have. And but because they already have this kind of weapon, they have a voice. Every time one of these countries have a conflict with whatever other country it is, they always have this trump card. They always can just put on the table, I have a nuclear weapon, and because of that, their argument became instantly more important and more valid. Because they can use whatever the way they want, and because of that, because you have a nuclear weapon, you also automatically have allies, because those that do not have this kind of thing have to make pacts and treaties and deals with this country, because if they have a disagreement with another nation, they have to have someone to save their asses, okay? And that's why those countries still keep and will keep and they will not disarm themselves, not ever. Yeah, they will keep their arsenal for themselves because of that. Simply, you having this kind of weapon, you instantly have power to discuss anything, and they do the max of, they do every effort possible to stop any other nation to having this kind of weapon as well. One of the things that, two things I have to say that happened in the recent years concerning not only the construction of nuclear weapons, but the suspicious of someone constructing or having a nuclear weapon is the case of Iran and the case of North Korea, and both ended in different ways, and the results of what they are trying to do kind of ended in the different ways. First, Iran, they have power plants, they have factories that make the enrichment of uranium, and because of that, United States accuse them of making weapons of mass destruction. Iran claimed that they are not doing nothing like that. The United States said to UN to investigate. The UN investigate, and they found nothing. But why do they do that? Mostly because United States have the power, and they are trying to enforce their power in this country. I'm not saying that Iran is innocent, or maybe they do not have this kind of weapon. It's just that you can use just the assumption that a country have this kind of weapon to enforce power and do the politics. In the case of North Korea, they actively tried to construct a nuclear weapon, and the reason for that is that they want to bring United States to the table to negotiate. They made a lot of fuss. They threat South Korea, Japan, and any other country near them, and they are helped by China and things of that. And And they made all of this fuss because they already receive a lot of sanctions, and they are trying to make these sanctions not worse than it is today. And what they achieved doing all the fuss is just in the end bringing Donald Trump to shake hands with Kim Jong-un. And this is one of the things you have to understand. You all have to understand about international relations and international politics. We are not trying to. Nobody's trying to be the good guy in the history. This kind of thing of good and evil do not exist in the international politics. Okay. Everybody is a player and everybody have its own cards to play this game, right? And everybody will use any means possible to survive. You have to understand that no country is truly a friend with another nation. In every historical period, every country once was enemy with another country, and you have to be sure. It is obvious that today the countries are in their most peaceful state possible, and because of that, we tend to think that majority of the countries are trying to stay peaceful, but it is not this. The UN are trying to make the countries instead of war, but then around the table we make them talk a little, try to negotiate or try to solve problems in the most peaceful way. However, not always is possible something like that, and that's why having a ultimate weapon like a nuclear one, it is important, and it is important also not having one, because the big countries and powerful countries do not like when someone tries to be strong as them. And that's it. Okay, I hope I made my point. I hope that this information would be useful, and in the next podcast I will try to discuss many other things that are useful for those that not only like international politics and try to understand the whole world, but I'm here, I'll do my best to show a Brazilian point of view of all of this. Alright? Next episode I will talk about the Brazilian politics. Alright? See ya next time.